You really wanna party with me? Let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, ain't gonna be trust. Yo, it's a must that you heard of us, yo, we murder us. A lot of people is wondering and they curious. I mean, in my unit, do it is so mysterious. Furious, all of my people is serious. Shook others be walking around fearing us. Front, baby, like you don't wanna be hearing us. Gotta listen to Harry, he'll be playing us. 30 times a day to make you delirious. Damaging everything all up in your area. Yo, it's funny how all the be always serving us. All up in between they where they wanna carry it.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First down and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
On the ground, it's the rookie running back out of Miami. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And, see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Now is the punter, Jordan Stout. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Hey, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a 1-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you look at this defense,
they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Already a pair of third-down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third-down try. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they're on the 1st or 2nd seed come playoff time.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough third down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on second down.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Eluding the pressure right.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a give up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stops shy of the 35. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Going for it, it's Mitchell.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Jackson. Flush to his right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone.
And that'll be incomplete with the penalty marker down as well. And I think he was beyond the line of scrimmage when that ball left his hand. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw it to a target and get that pass.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to... 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Here's Jackson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Jackson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
3rd and goal, Jackson.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
But your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Puka Nacua.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Rams would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
And now now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Stafford.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, here this third quarter, the whole complexion of the ball game flips on a dime there, CD. This is back to a one-score game.
And sometimes when your offense is sputtering, you as a defensive unit have to take it upon yourselves to say, we've got to go out there, maybe take a few chances along the way, and see if we can generate some points ourselves. And lo and behold, they were able to deliver.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now Stafford. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's number one goal is to throw that timing off.
That is caught. He's across midfield.
And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll move the chains.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way. They did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now it's Stafford. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped through.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a two-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
First down, here's Mitchell.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never were crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here.
And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams' 39.
And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now Jackson. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So they'll try to move the ball closer here on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. Now it's Jackson going up top.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Stafford now to throw. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
A 4-yard gain brings up 4th down and less than a yard.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, this game's over.
2 yards, good enough for a first. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Tackle made at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
We got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is right through.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st down and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. Throwing, Jackson.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores. You know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
Jackson to throw.
Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead. and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Under pressure, and they got to him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out.
I said, okay, loser. We go way back. I won't say okay, boomer. Sweet, I brush my teeth, but still my tooth hurt. You cannot come to the cookout, get your hand up out the cooler. She was in my seat, I had to scoot her. She was at her knees, I had to boot her. She just left the team like we ain't knew her. She just left the team like, okay, loser. Yeah, okay, loser. I ain't on my lonesome. They want me to loan some. I made a fortune. They can't let that go none. I'm doing so much that costs a shoulder. I don't blow it all on a VVS boulder. I put the verse in the I